All right, so as promised, it's 3 past 2. Let's go ahead and get started. I don't anticipate on taking the entire 60 minutes, but who knows? Who knows how it will go? It's a fascinating topic. It's a fascinating tool. This is a workshop on for beginners, although if you are an experienced user, please don't leave. You might learn something new, something you haven't previously discovered about this tool. But the premise behind these workshops, the ones that I've been conducting anyway, is that they are geared toward beginner users. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I'd like someone from the Zoom room to give me a thumbs up if they can see my screen, my slide called Introduction to Illinois Chat. Thank you, Dan. Okay, so this is a third in a sequence of workshops around generative AI that I've been conducting following Microsoft Copilot on Tuesday and Adobe Firefly yesterday, Illinois Chat today. It's not imperative that it's not crucial that you attended the previous two. These are all three standalone tools, although there may be some overlap with the things that I discussed in the previous two workshops. But trust me, you will not be lost if you did not attend the previous two. Secondly, the three tools that I'm discussing, namely Illinois Chat and Adobe Firefly and Microsoft Copilot, are officially licensed University of Illinois tools, ones that carry extra layers of protection and security if you are a University of Illinois employee. Having said that, I know I've seen the registration list, and there are people who um, are come to us and are registered who are from different universities. You may not have access to the tool. You may not be able to workshop it, but please don't drop out of this session if that's the case. There is no question that your university at some point will adopt a similar tool. So a lot of the techniques and principles that I will be talking about will transfer over once your specific university does employ a similar solution to what we'll be workshopping today. If you have any questions throughout this lecture workshop, please don't hesitate to speak up. If you're on Zoom, post them in the chat. My colleague Andrew will relay them to me or answer them himself if he knows the answer to these specific questions. I think that's all for housekeeping for now. I want to thank you all for taking some time on this wonderful Thursday afternoon during the summer session anyway, to be with us today and to learn more about generative AI in a university setting. Okay, my name is Przemek Bosak. I serve as the Assistant Director for Instructional Innovation here at the Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning, and today's session will be focused around Illinois Chat. Whoop. Illinois Chat, your digital teaching assistant in a nutshell. Yes, question.
Will Illinois Chat be available to colleagues from other institutions who may be guest lecturers in our classes or research collaborators?
So what I can promise you is as long as you have at illinois.edu email address, you will be able to log into it. This is the proposed agenda. I'll introduce the tool. I'll talk about the advantages of using it versus other generative AI tools, which are numerous. And then we will workshop and see how the tool behaves as a teaching assistant, as a tutor, and we'll go over some of the robust data analysis features of the tool. Okay, what is Illinois Chat? Illinois Chat is, when it was developed, when it was in development, the idea behind it was for it to serve as a digital teaching assistant. Not one that replaces your human, for those of you who are professors, not one that will replace your human TA, but a tool that is capable of answering your students' questions at 4 a.m. in the morning the day before an assignment or a homework assignment is due. Okay, so this tool was designed to supplement your human TA or TAs. It does not replace a real human-to-human interaction. It will not be able to, probably not be able to handle every specific question that your students might have, and that would be addressed by your human TAs. However, the tool has since grown to become your personal large language model. And the first, what you're seeing on the screen, the very first advantage of utilizing Illinois Chat is that it is locally hosted. Your data isn't used for model training. Locally hosted, meaning it is stored, everything is stored in-house on this campus, on the University of Illinois campus. Nothing, um, none of that data will leak out. Well, that's, debatable, but yes, at least in theory, everything is stored on our servers at the University of Illinois. So you have control over your information sources, all API interactions, and I'm reading from the manual for the tool. All API interactions are contractually hidden and do not train on your data. You have full control over your information sources. These chatbots provide source citations, and I'll show you how that's done. Um, Robust authentication, sharing, monitoring, and support for many different language models. And it contains, as I said, um, Illinois Chat provides analytics on how users interact with it. And that could also be, I'll show you that specific tool could be very useful to you as a professor. Um, okay, so I think we're potentially ready for some exploration. I'd like you all to go to this web address, chat.illinois.edu, and I will meet you there in just a second. This is what you should be looking at, the front page. So this has undergone a couple of makeovers already, and who knows what it's going to look like in the fall. The tool is constantly being developed. Initially, it was called UIUC Chat, and the web handle was UIUC.chat. Then it was Illinois.chat. Now, as you can tell, it's chat.illinois.edu. I don't know if that web address is there to stay, but that's what it is for now. So before we sign in, why don't you all just click on this button, the orange button that says try it out, and start interacting with it as if it were your regular chat GPT. But the one thing that I will point out immediately, even before you start interacting, is right here at the very bottom, and I am highlighting that feature right there. If you click on that arrow and expand this menu, you can choose from a couple of different LLMs. Qwen, DeepSeek, Llama. Okay, and one of them disappeared from this morning. There was another Qwen, 7B, which is actually my preferred one. But you can, right off the bat, you can choose which language model you can communicate with. So go ahead and choose one and start exploring. I'll give you, let's say, 3 minutes for that, and I'll be back with you in a couple minutes. Well, as a matter of fact, the one that's preset for me is the Quen 2.5. Oh, this is the visual model. Okay, right. It's at the very bottom of, no, well, something's wonky about this. I hope that it works. It worked this morning. Go ahead and just start chatting with it and try all three of those locally hosted LLMs. I'll be back with you at let's say at a quarter after 2:15.
There's a question.
Yes, question.
Someone's asking they do not see how to upload docs.
Okay, we'll go over that in just a moment. We'll go over document uploads in just a second. So it's 2:15. Sorry to spoil the party and break your momentum. Any immediate observations, anyone? Any immediate observations or comments?
It's slower than normal models.
It's slower than normal models? Yes, it is. That's a good observation. It's a little bit slower, yes.
I guess the deeps provided sort of the most traces of how about answering the question.
So the DeepSeek, okay, that's a very astute observation as well. DeepSeek is unique in that it, before it provides you with an answer, it also shows you the logic behind its reasoning. It shows you how it arrived at that specific answer. That is a unique feature of that model.
Maybe that say that they are not getting any responses.
No responses. Oh, well. I don't know what to tell you. As I said, something could be that it's down for whatever reason. I noticed that as I said, there should be more models to choose from. The Quen 7.1, I mean 7B, should have been down here along with.
See one that seeing something different than what is being shown on your screen.
Oh, people are seeing something different that's shown on my screen. Wow. Okay. I honestly don't know how to answer that and what to do about that. All I will say is be patient with me. If things are a little bit different, just follow what I'm doing, observe what I'm doing on the screen, and hopefully that'll, still illuminate you a little bit. But otherwise, this is something that is a little bit of an unexpected occurrence. I didn't see that happening. When I tested it this morning, everything was still working pretty well, working as it has been for me. So I'm sorry about that.
Sorry, how are you able to switch back to the
Oh, down here. And this is the pull down menu.
yeah, but it's not the options.
For me, it switched. Look, it went from Quen to Llama to DeepSeek. It's working okay for me. It's not doing that for you. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea how it came up with that specific engine. No, no. That was already on there when I opened the tool. Okay. Regular, you can choose your model. Okay, we'll go over signing in just a second. The use cases that we're going to go over are, we'll first create a TA, then we'll create a tutor, and then I'll show you the analysis page. And then I'll show you how to import this chatbot into your Canvas, into your course in Canvas. And that will be that for now. So if you maneuver back to the main page and click on the icon Illinois chat so that you go back to this front page, which looks like this. The sign in button is at the top, right? Oh, it checked me in immediately. For those of you who are going to log in with Microsoft. There will be a couple of login options. Choose the one that says log in with Microsoft. And hopefully that'll take you into the tool. Use your Illinois email address.
You have the chat.
Do I have the, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Okay, same, no response. I am signaled in, no responses. Okay.
Of no responses, is it bound just to documents that are being targeted, or, I mean, it's not going out to the world?
So that's a good question, and we'll go over that in just a second, okay? I don't see any options to choose an
That might be
LLM.
the reason for no responses.
Mine is working. Please go slow. Okay, sorry about that. Have you all successfully logged into Illinois chat? I'm getting yeses in the room. What about my Zoom audience? Yes, yes. Okay, so let me rephrase. Has anybody not been able to log into Illinois chat? All right, so I'll take that as a positive sign. Okay, so now that we're logged in, see if you can switch the LLMs after logging in. Has that changed for you? It has? Or no? Or has it made no difference? No difference. Wow. So I don't know why it's misbehaving for some of you. So a couple of you noted that you were unable to switch between these specific LLMs before. And after logging in, it's exhibiting the same funky behavior. And I'm sorry to say that that's the case. So I've got, but I'm going to plow ahead, and sorry about that. So first I've got some samples of previous conversations with it, and I won't bore you with the details. Let's once again go back to the front page, chat.illinois.edu. You should see your initials instead of the sign-in icon. And let's create a new project. So that'll get us started on creating your new TA. Okay. And you can let's name this project Workshop 1. You can name it anything you want. This is just for the sake of this exercise, okay? And it should take you to this specific page. The dashboard, what's behind your chatbot. And you'll notice that you can upload all sorts of materials in very, very different formats, PDFs, Word documents, PowerPoint presentations, spreadsheets, even images and videos and audio files. Although the video function was being a little naughty last time I tried it. But this is how you start. You upload your class documents in all different types and formats. In addition, you can import a website. You can train it on the content of any website you want. You can link it with Canvas. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Coursera, even GitHub. Down over here in the right margin, you can describe your chatbot. You can say something like TA for chemistry 203 if that happens to be the course you're teaching. You can set a greeting, example questions, and I'll show you what those are when I show you my own custom created chatbot. And so I'm going to, yeah, you can ask away, please. Yes.
Does it all have to be OCR?
I don't think so. But I could be wrong about that, but I don't believe so. And up here, you can share your chat bot. You can make it public. You can add administrators. You can add people by email, individual students or individual TAs, or you can choose to share it publicly or with a select group of people, possibly your students, if you're using this for a class. So let me go now and show you.
And sorry, does public
Yes.
mean public or just within?
Anyone who has the web address for it would be able then to access it and communicate with it and interact with it. Okay, so is this the one? Oh, no, this isn't what I was looking for. Here. So this is a chat bot that I created called Mathematical Systems Theory Quiz, and I only uploaded one document into its database, and the project files are listed at the bottom of this page. Just a single PDF called a model. This is just for the sake of this presentation, a model for pattern perception of musical applications. And it comes up with these. I typed them in. I created this list of starting questions for the student to start interacting with this project. Okay, but the one thing that I wanted to show you is that, so it grabbed that document and I asked it to create a 10-question quiz from the reading, and it did that, and I went through it, and everything was fine. The questions were legit, the answers were correct. Except, I perhaps would have used a different pattern for answers. Every answer but the fifth one is the second answer from the available answers. However, it worked okay. All right. So this is one of the things that you can do. On the back end.
Did you select one of the AIs that you want to create?
Oh, I guess I did, but I couldn't tell you what it was, I don't think. Oh, yeah. So it showed me that it found 31 document chunks and used those chunks to craft this specific 10 question quiz. I'm assuming it was at the bottom. You also get the sources. This is also one of the cool features. Is it's going to point you. There's no point in me showing you because I only used one article, so it'll always point to the same article. But if you have, and by the way, there's no limit as to how many documents you can upload into this specific tool. Yes.
Show you what the
Yeah.
document. Yeah. Like it will highlight the.
Yeah, so for example, you have 5 articles and it said from article 1 and then article 2, does it show like the whole article or
Yes.
the part that it found?
It will show you the specific chunk where the article.
Yeah, because it's the chunks.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So then this is a chatbot that was made for a TA that was made for something else, but I asked it a question because it still does serve as a regular LLM. And my question was, solve this system of equations. And I gave it equation 1, equation 2, pretty simple, late middle school algebra. And it solved it correctly. Okay, gave me the answers. Okay. So the reason I'm showing you this specific problem is because, and I chose, I repeated this query twice, with each time with a different LLM. Okay, and both times I got the same right answer to the system of equations. Why? The reason I'm showing this is because I wanted to show you the tutor mode. This, the way it's set up right now, it solves this problem for me. Okay, in the tutor mode, which I set up in a different math problems is what it's called. I asked it the same question, and lo and behold, did not solve it for me, but it gave me a way to get started. And to activate this tutor mode, here's what you do. In the administrative dashboard, under prompting, here you have these options right here. Guided learning is what and if you hover over that letter I, it shows you what this specific feature does. In guided learning, the tutor mode is activated, by which it will not, in theory, it will not solve the problem, but it will serve as a real tutor. It will guide the student through the process of solving that problem.
So it would go step by step, right?
It would go, I think for that, it only got me, let's see.
When you have that, we can substitute
We can-
equation.
And then it asks a follow-up question. What do you think would be a good next step? Once again, to get that, you go to admin dashboard, prompting. Document-based references only is that restricts your bot to only the documents and the URLs that you provided it with when you were uploading, when you were setting it up. It restricts it from going on the World Wide Web and searching for those answers. It is only going to draw from the pool of documents and URLs that you
And
initially
resources
fed.
that-
Yes. However, when you select these options, what you must do is you have to update the system prompt right here. Otherwise, these changes will not go into effect.
So that's like a confirm button.
That's like a confirm button, and it will generate this this system prompt for you automatically. And if you go through it, it's a step-by-step set of directions for it to actually not give away the answer, but instead to guide the student through the process of solving any. But you must update system prompt after selecting these options in order for it to go into effect, as I said.
Could you zoom in the screen? It is apparently different to read sometimes.
This is what the right side of the page looks like. Guided learning is on. Document-based references only on. Smart document search is on. But after making those changes, you have to click on Update System Prompt. Okay, so that is the tutor option, okay?
Sorry, before you leave.
Yes.
What's the reset?
I haven't tried it, but I'm assuming it's going to, so the default for all of these is the off, is to be off. So I'm assuming it would probably go back to what it was initially, which is for these things to be in the off position.
What's the last one? Bypass?
Unmodified control over your bot.
And for
Oh.
some reason, Quen 7B isn't.
Quen 7B is an option now.
And so going
Yeah.
to that, I mean, have you seen sort of any differences about
So the differences, and you already highlighted it, is that DeepSeek, and actually I can show you an example of that too. DeepSeek does talk you through how it arrived at a solution versus these other. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here. Describe what's in the picture. And I uploaded a photo of myself. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to show you. I'm a professional classical musician, create an itinerary for a 7-day trip to Vienna for a music lover such as myself. This was Quen. Same prompt. This is DeepSeek. And at first, before it gives me the answer, it goes through the process of, it shows me how it thought about the answer. That's the unique feature of DeepSeek. Otherwise, you know, they all have slightly different flavors, but I think they all, by and large, work the same way.
I mean, for the tutor site?
Oh, for the tutor? So I've had, for me, Quen has been the most reliable one. As you can tell, some of them are a little less reliable than others. Quen is, and I've heard it from other people as well. Quen is their go-to, but that shouldn't prevent you from trying all of them and, you know, making your own decisions based on what you see and what types of result you're getting. Results. Okay, let me go back to the slides and see what I've missed, if anything, from. Okay, you can upload description sample questions. We got that. I showed you prompting, AA behavior settings, guided learning. We have gone over that. Okay, you can release documents at your own pace. I'll show you what that means right now. For that, yes, this is the specific chatbot that I need. Okay, so on the dashboard, I showed you that my sources go down here in the project files. Everything everything I've uploaded is going to show up in this list right here under project files. Okay, as I showed you, I only have one. I can actually move it to the document group right here, and I have one called group 1. So the way to do it is you would check your document, then you would select a group. If there aren't any groups, this will show you, guide you to create one. I already have one. I can move it up to document groups, okay? And you can toggle this switch on and off. Sorry, this is one of the things that isn't working well. But if this specific group is enabled, your chatbot is going to draw from this specific group or groups, but it will bypass the ones that aren't enabled, which means, and I've seen professors do it, for example, they have, you know, their project files contain, let's say, 100 sources, and they've created, let's say, 16 groups, week 1, week 2, week 3, and they, you know, they gradually are releasing that knowledge base into the bot so that the students don't get lost. For example, if they interact with it and it gives them an answer that they haven't, or discusses language that hasn't yet been covered in class, that may confuse them. But you can gradually release or train it to use specific sources based on how the class is unfolding. Make sense? Another pretty cool and pretty unique feature of this specific tool. And once again, you can probably do it with ChatGPT or what have you, but this is free and locally hosted. So this is why I'm saying you can release documents at your own pace. Okay, analysis. And for that, I will open one that has been interacted with the most. Under admin dashboard, you can go to this analysis tool. If you go to it, you will not see anything because no one has, since you just created your own bots, your own TAs, no one has interacted with yours yet. But I can show you the analysis for this one, which hasn't had too many interactions with, but nonetheless, 40 total conversations, 7 total users, 48 messages, blah, 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 all kinds of, oh, so this is, oh, sorry, all time. And I get a large, a number of different wonderful, easy to read visuals. For example, the days and the times when the tool has been interacted with. This could tell you a lot about your student body. You can say that, you know, your students, for instance, are interacting with it the most on Sunday afternoons or Sunday evenings, when the tool is being accessed and talked with. At what hour of the day is the most popular? The midday hours for hours is the most popular one. All kinds of different. You can even tell which of these models has been interacted with the most. So it seems that the Quen, as I said, other people are displaying preference for it as well. So this is another one of these quite unique and could be potentially quite useful features of this tool. It gives you the data for how your users are interacting with it and when and long. You can also download up here, download conversation history. Everything, every chat that has taken place, every conversation that has taken place with this tutor, you can upload it as it'll be exported as a text file for you. Another thing I wanted to show you, I gotta go back to the dashboard and tools. No, sorry, dashboard here. So you can configure, you can import this into Canvas. You can activate this chatbot within Canvas. And the instructions are really quite simple. This video is, I think, just a minute and a half. It is really quite simple to do. There are written instructions, and there is a video that talks you how to do that, talks you through how to do that. The one thing that you must do is you have to enroll your chatbot in your class. Otherwise, it won't do anything. Okay, what am I? Analysis, data visualization. Canvas, that's right. You need to add UIUC chatbot as a student. Sorry, I should have changed that to Illinois chatbot, or maybe it is still UIUC. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Of course, the models that we have available are locally hosted by LCSA.
Uh-huh.
So I did clarify that there was a similar question if you are using a paid model such as ChatGPT.
Yes.
That also privately locally hosted, or is that going out?
So I'm not an expert on that, but one of the things that you can do is, let's see, what am I looking for? Oh, okay, right. So in addition to the locally hosted models, where is that? Projects?
Yeah, I think so.
You can actually import, and I'm sorry, oh, here, API. Is that it? You can generate your own API key from any chatbot and import it into here. But I'm not quite sure how that works. The last slide, I haven't gone through it, and I'll show you the last slide already. So under these links, you can read up about that a little in greater depth. I'm sorry, I don't have a concrete answer for you, but the answer to your question is going to be somewhere in these documents. These are Word docs, and there's even they have a YouTube channel for UIUC, or Illinois Chat rather, where your question I'm sure you'll be able to find your answer to your specific question. Dashboard, import from Canvas, that's right. Okay. Any more questions, folks? If not, we still have time. I'll let you workshop, but I wanted to make a couple more comments, okay? This was brought to my attention just this morning. The idea of radical transparency, okay? Most, if not all of us, are university professors, and we know that our students are using generative AI, and we know that we are using generative AI as well. Somebody pointed out this morning that it's possibly just a matter of time. It has happened on other campuses already, that students are going to start calling us out on that. And so it behooves us to be very transparent about how we are using generative AI in our work as university, as academic professionals. There was a case, and I don't remember the college, the university, where a professor was restricting or limiting how the students could use generative AI, and they somehow discovered that that professor did not apply the same set of rules to themselves, and this professor got called out on that. And so the point being that it is a great idea to be very transparent about how we are using it, because the students may come back at us and say, you're cutting corners here. I'm paying a lot of money to come here, and you are not doing your job as a university professor. That could happen. Okay, so just so that we are all, that we can eliminate any potential challenges or any potential problems with students. I think it behooves us to be transparent with that. And I'm seeing examples that happening in academic writing as well. I have used this examples in the previous two workshops over the past 2 days. This is an academic paper that was created in Canada, University of Waterloo, and the writer of the paper inserted this disclosure at the end of the paper. And I think this is going to become, a custom among academic writers, disclosing the sources, disclosing how a specific and what type of an AI engine was used to assist with the creation of a specific piece of writing. This is already on the last slide, which I will show to you in just a second. There are ways to cite now. The MLA, APA, they have their own ways of citing generative AI as a source. And that's not it. I think that's all I wanted to show you for that. And to make those comments about being transparent and being clear with your intentions and how you want your students to behave when it comes to generative AI. So having some type of a policy, some type of a statement in your syllabi is also going to be very, very important. We're not at time yet, so I'm going to ask you to please either take a photo or, okay, questions, yes. No, okay, yeah.
The hanging questions, the guided learning, if the answer correctly, for example, after user says, I don't know for 7 times.
Okay, that one, I haven't tried breaking it that way. You're welcome to try it and see what comes out. I have seen, so these tools are not perfect yet. I have seen one, I had a consultation once and we tested that tool, and there was one problem that it got hung up on, and it continued no matter how many times we asked it and rephrased the question. Even with the tutor mode on, there was one problem that it kept answering. So it isn't, these tools are constantly getting improved and changed, and but they are not error-free. Okay, so even with the tutor mode on, I have seen one instance in which it did not behave in that desired way, I'm sorry to say. If you wouldn't mind, this survey takes literally 2 minutes to fill out. Make sure from the pull-down menu, once you've identified your affiliation, that you choose today's date and today's workshop.
Another question.
Yes.
Is there a way to get the chat to read it in e-text?
Is there a way for the chat to read an e-text? I would assume so. I haven't tried it myself, but seeing how robust it is and how many other file types it is able to, I would imagine that it is capable of doing that.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
By the way, if you go, I will when I share this the slides with you tomorrow by email. Oh, and I should play this for you as well. Those of you who came to my workshop and have been coming to the workshops, I have a little, very, very small video as a token of my appreciation that I made with Adobe Firefly, and it's on the last slide. And you are all awesome. So, but joking aside, I will insert a web address for CITL's Summer of AI playlist. We record every session, and we post it on our MediaSpace channel. This video will be made available within the next, I would imagine, 2 weeks. We go over every single lecture, every single video. We embed some branding, University of Illinois branding into it. We make sure that we do our due diligence and there isn't anything controversial in any of these videos, and then we share them with you. So you'll have access to the video as soon as it's made available. And as I said, I will add the link to the playlist to this last slide, which I will share with you all tomorrow morning. Are there any other questions? Yes. Oh, Andrew, okay.
So would the correct link still be uiuc.chat, or I noticed that you're using
Yes.
chat.illinois.edu.
Chat.illinois.edu is what you should go to, although let's actually double see what we get when we type in uiuc.chat. You are still,
A little bit differently for me. I
huh?
have one less model on chat.illinois than I did on uiuc.chat.
Okay. So that's a great catch. So Andrew, my colleague, is pointing out that both web addresses work, and that the models that are available through uiuc.chat, he had more LLMs to choose from at uiuc.chat versus the one that I showed you, chat.illinois.edu. However, it was this, I think Monday of this week, when we received an email from the makers of this tool that chat.illinois.edu is now the one that should be utilized. Evidently, the other one, uiuc.chat, is still active, but I think they're going to start migrating away from it very soon. Yes.
Question or observation. So I uploaded a text file,
Okay.
Chicago formatted citation,
Yeah.
like books, right, articles. And then I asked that, list all books by this author. It listed 2, which were the 2 from that. Articles 2000 and after,
Mhm.
and it did that. Then I asked it what a ziggurat was. And it kind of extensively told me what it was. But there's no content in there about ziggurats in that text stack.
So that's probably, you did not select,
I did.
you did?
Did. So I asked it about insects.
Uh-huh.
Said, I don't know about that. Which is better, Coke or Pepsi didn't know about that. I asked it how tall ziggurats were, and said it couldn't answer that. It was kind of bizarre. It answered some of the things, it said, nope, can't do it. It made sense.
Okay.
But then it knew what ziggurats were. It knew the 2 rivers,
Okay.
Tigris Euphrates, but it didn't know the height of the ziggurat. So there were some things it was answering and some things it could.
Okay.
Now I do have, like, in the text, I have link that links to the U of I permalink to the library.
Okay.
But the permalink's not password walled, but the book beyond that surely would be. So it's not drilling down into and some of those books are in ebooks or online books are just book reference. I don't know. So it's doing something, not others.
That's a fascinating observation. I can only speculate as to how and why that happened.
The reference, right? On the
Yeah, so that would have been under
exact
document-based references only. Huh.
Is there a baseline knowledge set that you can't
Eternal.
Like, I hope it's stupid, right? I hope it's got nothing, right? That's, I don't want to have any knowledge, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I only take my documents and nothing else, right?
so that would be through activating document-based references only. So somehow or another, it was maybe trying to bypass that and still, searching for your answer on the World Wide Web. I don't know.
Okay, fine.
But
Take those links out, see that.
that's a good observation. But you should also just see what happened with the project files and what's actually in there or not.
Yeah.
Perhaps some things didn't get uploaded in its entirety or not, whatever the case is.
It's just one talk.
So maybe vaguely related to that question. I mean, is there a place we should go to learn as much as we can about what the difference between the different AIs and how they would behave and when we're selecting other than just experience?
Other than just experience, I honestly haven't heard of, especially since I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes. They're all large language models, and they they essentially behave or operate the same way. The results, are not identical, but hopefully at least similar. I would simply say just interact with all three or
So when
four.
we're selecting them, you said
So for me, but because I don't teach any college classes, to me it isn't imperative, that I really choose the best one for me, okay? For what I for my own personal uses, Quan has been the most reliable one. I don't really need to understand how it creates the answers that it does, which is what DeepSeek offers.
what do you mean? How does that?
So my queries aren't as academic perhaps as yours would be, being that you're a college professor. So I interact with it, just to get baseline answers basically for simple. I don't use it to do research. I don't do it to do literature review. Okay. So for me, for how I'm using these tools, Quan is just good enough, and I don't really even need to understand how each tool behaves differently from the other tool, if you see what I'm saying. But from what I've heard from other users and from the previous attendees of this workshop is that Quan seems to be, at least at the moment, most reliable in terms of it doesn't get turned off. It doesn't, because I don't know, I don't understand how these tools work, and being that it's a tool that's made in-house, some and the makers of it also admit to the fact that there are periodic outages in some of these LLMs as well.
And a sort of related question about the tutorial. I mean, I don't know how much you've tested it, but does it always return the same steps when it's breaking down for the same question? I mean, is it consistent?
You mean when in the
Does it generate different?
in the tutor mode?
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and test your. This is the one. Okay, let's go ahead, copy that question, drop it in, and let's jump from Quan to Llama. So it's a slightly different way of approaching it, but it still did not provide the answer. And I suppose, and I'm speculating, but I think I'm right about this. somebody mentioned at the very start of this lecture that this behaves rather slowly. And I think that is because, it's hosted locally on local servers, and there's not as much computing power behind our servers than what OpenAI has out in the wild, so to speak, if you see what I'm saying. I think that would be the reason why. That there's a slight lag between, the time you pose the question and you get the answer. So that was Llama. Okay, let's ask now DeepSeek. The very same question. And DeepSeek will take even longer because it generates that logic. Oh. And so. Well, I didn't want you to solve it, but let's see what it. All right. So this guy is misbehaving. This guy actually solved the system of equations for us.
So my question is even sort of more kind of pushed on that. I mean, it using the same AI, would the answer be, especially if it's not a very kind of unambiguous math question, if there, one can imagine several step-by-step solution strategies. Does the same AI generate the same answer
Okay.
each time, so that if we suspect that it's generating errors, we have to, how do we know not to trust them?
So let's ask Llama once again, and we'll compare. It looks like precisely the very same. Yeah.
It's truly experiencing. Professor now being asked the same question.
Aha, yes. Yes.
At some point I'll get bored and start generating. Right or wrong.
If there are no more questions on Zoom, I'm going to close this meeting up. Yeah.
The conversation.
Okay. Conversation.
With checking.
Okay, let me.
A few messages.
Last few messages. Okay. Isn't retraining on the same. It's retraining. It is just using the you provide as context. That's correct. Doesn't have to process on the website each time. Yes, Travis, I believe you are correct. That's correct, Travis. All right. Well, thank you all for your participation. Please check out the Summer of AI is still ongoing. We have 3 more weeks of events until the last day of July. So please avail yourselves of all that's being on offer. Next week, we have two separate panel discussions, and they should be lively. One is on hopes and fears, I think is how we named it, when it comes to generative AI in higher education. And the second one is, it's escaping me at the moment, but we've got a number of different events still on offer. There's one that will be offered the following week on data governance and stewardship, and a few other ones. So by all means, please come back and check what we have to offer now between now and the end of July, and but beyond, after July, don't hesitate to reach out to us for any generative AI related questions. We will continue to offer, workshops and host events. We're going to continue to remain, one of the generative AI hubs on campus. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And I hope to see you again soon at one of the Summer of AI events.